All right. Here we are. Think and Grow Wealth. My name is Jon Robert Quinn, the guy who builds talk shows coast to coast, hanging out here with Mr. Frank Verney.
That's me.
What time is it?
It's Frankie time.
It's Frankie time. We should just call it
time to learn, time to make it happen.
Absolutely. All right. So, what are we talking about today, man?
Well, I want to talk about some of the steps that real estate investors have to understand. They have to go through to become successful. I guess the fundamentals of investing. Mm-hmm. There are basically 5 steps. First of all, you have to find the property.
Okay.
You have to fund it.
Okay.
Then you have to fix it.
Okay.
You have to manage the process, and then you have to sell it. And then again, if you're going to hold on to it, and keep it as passive income, then you have to find tenants. So these are just the steps that people have to go through. The first one, of course, is finding the property. Many people go into the marketplace and they're on the MLS. And once something hits the MLS, the whole world knows about it.
It's on the retail side.
It's a retail side.
Yeah.
Now, do deals happen sometimes off the MLS? Yes, they do. But the properties that we look at are things that are not on market. They're wholesales. Mm-hmm. Now, we work with wholesalers also who try to sell us properties that they may have in contract, but basically we're looking at properties ourselves. And the areas that we look at are for probate, people that pass away. We look at divorce. We look at people that are in pre-foreclosure, in foreclosure. Mm-hmm. We look at people that may be going to jail. We look at people that need to leave the country or leave the state, maybe their job transfers. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at opportunities out there that we can help them, because my job is a professional problem solver. Okay, so if I address these folks and we have systems in place where we can actually focus our attention on these particular categories. So if we're looking for people that are in probate, well, our investment operating system can actually go through the public records and find people that are in probate. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go to the courthouse yourself and do it yourself. Mm-hmm. So again, if I'm looking for probate, do I want to send letters out to 5,000 people, or do I want to focus my attention on maybe 100 mm-hmm. that are in probate that need my help? Mm-hmm. So that's the concept of doing that. MLS, not going to happen. Craigslist is just bogus because people put stuff on there and have no intention of doing anything anyhow. Mm-hmm. But if you understand how to do this and have the systems in place to do it. Now, if you don't have the operating system, that's fine. Go to the courthouse, choose where you want to be, and stay there. Most new investors will focus in on California. Well, that's not going to work. You have to focus in on a more defined area in a more defined category. Mm-hmm. My specialty is primarily pre-foreclosures. Okay. And I'm focusing in the Bay Area, and I'm focusing anywhere from San Mateo to San Jose. That's where I am, okay? And primarily...
You're going where the money's at.
I'm going where the money's at. And primarily Redwood City and San Jose are the 2 areas that I'm really focused in on. So I'm not looking at properties in San Francisco. Even though there are opportunities, I'm staying focused where I want to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm addressing the people that I think can use my help. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely.
That's finding the properties and not going and basically buying them wholesale. The second step is funding it. You have to find the money. Most of these homes are in trouble. Mm-hmm. They're not habitable. Okay, so to go to a bank and get money to buy this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to look at other opportunities. And there are many, many people out there that don't want to raise a hammer, don't want to get involved in actually buying the house, fixing it up, controlling the system. All they want to do is lend money and become a bank to you. Mm-hmm. And so you have to find those people, and you have to know how to speak with them. You need to explain to them what the process is and how it's going to work. The bottom line is that people that invest with me, their money is in fact, it's more safe than putting it in a bank, because my anything I do is going to be protected. Okay, it's going to be insured, and it's going to be secured. So any note, they're going to give me a note. I'm going to record that note, and I'm going to record a deed of trust. And then on top of that, I'm going to have insurance to cover that note.
Correct.
So they're actually better off than going to a bank. The other thing is that if you buy stocks, okay, what do you do with it? You can't go see a stock.
Well, people keep telling me all day long, you need to be investing in crypto. You need to be. I'm like, dude, it's speculation.
It's
bro.
speculation.
It's all speculation. Yeah, well, I can make. I don't care. I can write a book, and I'll be 10-1 my money. And at least there, I guaranteed my 10-1 my money.
So people that invest with me, for instance, I want them to come see the property. I want them to walk around. I want them to see it and touch it and feel it, so that they have an attachment to it. And then the other way that we raise money with private people is through their IRAs. Because you can self-direct your IRA and then invest it that way. Again, the biggest issue is if you buy a stock, right, can it go to zero?
Of course.
Okay, can a house go to zero?
Not really.
Not really, because the land value is always there.
Well, not only that, I mean, the property, for the most part, is going to be insured. If the thing burns to the ground or floods or swims away.
Right. Plus the benefits of leverage, which we're not even going to talk about here. Because, again, if you buy that stock, like buy Apple stock and it's trading for $200 and it goes up 10%, you're going to make $2,000. Because you spent $20,000 to buy it. If you buy a house that's, say, a $200,000 house and you put 10% down, which is $20,000, and that house goes up by 10%, you make $20,000. So it's $2,000 versus 20, which is a better investment for you.
Correct.
And so that's the power of leverage, and that's why people that are rich typically
are in real estate.
The next step, if you're going to become a fixer and flipper, is to fix it. You need to have contractors. You need to have all of those things in place, and you need to know how to write a proper contract. Because there's 6 things that you must get. You need to get their insurance. You need to get their the scope of work. You need to get their W-9s. There's a bunch of paperwork that you need from your contractor. You need to verify who they are, verify their licenses, because a contractor can destroy any property that you purchase. I've had that happen to me once. It will never happen again. Okay? I made the error of believing them without verifying. And, Ronald Reagan used to say, verify, okay? So from now on, everything I do is verify. And contractors, again, are by the dozen. And when you're looking at a home, you want to get at least 2 to 3 bids. You want to make sure that the people that you're working with have done this before. Just because someone's a contractor doesn't mean that they know how to rehab a house.
Well, it means that they went and they took a test.
Correct. It's like a real estate agent.
An expensive test, but they took a test.
They took a test. And if they can't show you references, if they don't have other houses that they've done with investors, then that's probably not the right guy.
Correct.
And then the next step is to manage the process. When I pick up a property or my team picks up a property, we're probably hiring 30, 40 people. We have title people, we have the contractors, we have real estate agents, we have the money people. We're basically bringing all these people together, and we're managing that process. I don't go lift a hammer. I go visit the property, and I have a scope of work, and I follow that scope of work with the contractors. If they're not following it, they don't get paid. Okay, so it's managing that process can really pull your hair out if you don't have a system. And luckily, we've developed a pretty good system that allows us the opportunity to pull that all together, so that the process, instead of taking 6, 8, 10 months, is taking 2 to 3 or 4 months. And that all saves you money in the long run, because as you're borrowing money to do this, it's costing you every day that you can't resell that house.
Correct.
So that's something that you need to understand. And then the last step is to sell it. You need to understand the market. And I always ask people, especially at my seminars, when do you make money on real estate? You make it when you buy it. You need to understand how to properly analyze it, how to properly understand what the rehab costs are going to be, what the money costs will be, what the holding costs will be, what the taxes are going to be, because all of that comes in. Because once you own it, you're responsible for everything on that home.
Correct.
And if you don't have those numbers right, then when you try to sell it, you're not going to make the profits that you expect. And then also, sometimes, I'm a broker, but the house in Walnut Creek that we sold in November, I don't know that market that well. So we hired an agent. Okay, and I'm not immune to doing that. So it's just a matter of making sure, because they know the market a lot better than I do.
Oh yeah, they're going to move.
And so they can move the inventory quicker.
Yeah.
So yes, it's going to cost me more money, but that was anticipated. That was all planned up front. When we get involved in a property, we have plan A, B, and C. If this doesn't happen, we can do this. If that doesn't happen, we do this. So it's all in place. So if the property doesn't sell, what do? Do you just keep it? What do you do? So you need to have those pieces in place.
You can always rent it.
You can always rent it, but then the renting going to cover your cost?
Well, not only that. I mean, between each tenant, you're going to have to go and essentially rehab that property again.
And then, as we mentioned on other programs, what entity is this property in? If you're putting it in your own home, in your own name, and you're flipping this house, when you try to sell it, you're going to get hit with an excise tax.
Absolutely.
If you have it in an entity, that excise tax doesn't exist. And so then, you're making money and keeping money. That's the whole idea of real estate. If you're going to invest, the money you make, you want to keep.
Correct.
Otherwise, just write a check to Uncle Sam every day
And just get rid of it. How do people get in contact with you if they want to learn more?
916-719-6161, or they can go to my website, which is frankverney.org, or they can come to our weekly seminars that we run every Wednesday evening here in Sacramento. And if they want to just give me a call, we can invite them to come. It is by invite only. It's not public. And so it offers you the opportunity to, first of all, I'm typically the speaker, and I review, opportunities that are out there for people, reviewing the marketplace and reviewing, what steps people need to do to take this.
916-719-6161, 916-719-6161, or frankverney.org, frankverni.org. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back and learn more. We'll be right back.
Thanks.